Hi guys, welcome to another crochet along with Projectarian and Hobbii. I'm so excited to be doing another one. If you joined us for the previous one, welcome back, or if this is your first time, welcome. We are so excited to have you. My name is Jessie, I'm the designer of Projectarian patterns, and I'm going to walk you through the tutorial for making this horse bag that is as cute as it is functional. With 2026 being the year of the horse, our bag is on theme, but perfect for any occasion where you want to stand out and show off the fun side of your personality. To help you prepare for this project, I've made a series of reels on Instagram that are mini tutorials that demonstrate the special skills and techniques that we're using in this project. So if you want to build up a little bit of confidence before we begin, you can go through those and practice before we start. Otherwise, you can just dive straight in with me and I will demonstrate everything as we go through the project. The project is rated as intermediate, but if you're not feeling super confident, don't worry about it. I'm going to guide you through every single tiny step so you can't get lost. Being an intermediate project, it does assume that you know how to crochet, so we won't be learning the basic crochet stitches, but I will teach you absolutely everything else that you need to know, including any special skills and techniques. Throughout this project, we're going to use a 6mm hook for all the pieces that use thicker yarn, and we're going to use a 3mm hook for all the pieces that use thinner yarn. Today in part 1, we're going to be making the legs and the leg supports. The special skills that we're going to be learning during this section include working into the front loop or the back loop only on a stitch. We're also going to learn how to make an invisible decrease and how to join new yarn with a slip stitch. Before we begin, I just want to give you a heads up that crocheting the first few rounds of these legs is possibly the most difficult part of the pattern, so I don't want you to get discouraged right at the beginning. We're going to be working small rounds with just a few stitches. We're going to be using thick yarn and a big hook, so it can be a little bit fiddly to get started off, but I just want to encourage you and let you know that once you've got past that section, the rest of it is smooth sailing. So as we work through that part, it might take a little bit of extra patience. Just take your time and know that things get easier after that. If you're ready, let's get started. As a quick tip before we begin, we're going to be using a running stitch marker when we make the legs. If you're not sure how to use a running stitch marker and you want to learn, skip ahead to the leg supports and make those before you make the legs. I do an in-depth demonstration on how to use a running stitch marker on the leg supports because it's easier to demonstrate on that piece. Otherwise, let's make the legs. For the legs, begin with color A and a 6mm hook. Start off by making 4 single crochets in a magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to pull the ring closed. Continue working in the round and use a running stitch marker. For round 2, work 4 single crochets. 1, and I'm going to make sure that my piece is flipped right side out after working that first single crochet. 2, 3, 4. Round 2 is complete. To prepare for a jogless color change during the next round, we need to work 1 slip stitch into the back loop only of the first single crochet of round 2. Looking at the first single crochet of round 2, this is the front loop and that's the back loop. We want to work into the back loop only. To make it a little bit easier to access, you can go in there with your smaller hook and just pick up the back loop and wiggle it to make it a little bit easier to get your hook in there. And I'm going to move my running stitch marker over there. Go into the back loop and make a slip stitch. Then tie off. During the next round, we need to work into that single crochet like a normal stitch. So So we can still see the front loop that we haven't worked into yet, and there's the back loop that we worked a slip stitch into. If you struggle to identify your stitches, you can just clip a stitch marker onto this to help you recognize it later. You can also mark that stitch before making the slip stitch if that's easier. So I'm going to hook a marker through the front loop and the back loop. And where we tied off, I'll just pull that tail free. For round 3, use color B and a 6mm hook. We need to join color B in the 3rd single crochet of round 2. The 4th single crochet is the last single crochet, so the 3rd one will be the stitch right before that. So insert your hook into that stitch. And to join with a slip stitch, all you have to do is draw up a loop through that stitch. The yarn is joined and we can start crocheting. For round 3, we need to work 4 single crochet increases. To make a single crochet increase, all you need to do is work 2 single crochets into one space. So we'll start with a chain 1 and work 2 single crochets into the space, and I'm crocheting over this loose end as I go. Whenever we join new yarn with a slip stitch, we don't count that as a stitch, we don't crochet into it unless the pattern specifically directs you to. Likewise, whenever you start a round with a chain 1, we don't count that chain as a stitch and we don't crochet into it unless specifically directed. 1, 2. So the first increase is complete. I just need to do that 4 times. So into the next stitch, crocheting over the loose end as I go, make an increase, there's 2 single crochets, and then do the same into the next stitch. Now the next stitch happens to be the first single crochet of round 2. That's where we have a slip stitch in the back loop, and we need to work into both loops of the single crochet where we have our marker attached, if we have a marker there. So I'm going to remove the marker, taking note of which loops I need to work into. And then I'm going to crochet into that stitch. And I'm going to crochet over the loose end as I go. One, 2. That increase is complete, and I'll pull the loose end to tighten things up. And we need to work 1 more increase in that remaining single crochet of round 2, and I'll keep crocheting over my loose end as I go. 1, 2. My last increase is complete. So round 3 is done. I need to continue working in the round and use the same running stitch marker that I had before. I'll just bring it over to the side to keep using it. For round 4, the pattern says work 1 single crochet and an increase and repeat that 4 times. We know we need to repeat that section because those instructions are written inside a pair of asterisks, which means that we need to repeat that section. We're going to continue working in the round. So starting in the next stitch, make 1 single crochet and an increase, and repeat that, 1 single crochet, increase, one single crochet, increase, one single crochet, increase. For round 5, work 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. To prepare for a jogless color change during the next round, we're going to work into the back loops only again. This time we're going to work 2 slip stitches. I'm going to move my running stitch marker along, and then I'm going to work into the back loop of these first 2 stitches and make a slip stitch into each one of them. So once again, this is my front loop, that's my back loop, so I'm just going to work into that loop. Insert my hook in the back loop and make a slip stitch, and go into the next stitch in the back loop and make a slip stitch. I've completed my 2 slip stitches in the back loops only, so now I'm going to tie off. During the next round, we're going to work into these stitches like normal stitches. So although we've already used up the back loop there, when we work into the stitch during the next round, you'll insert your hook into this remaining front loop and all the way through, so that when you make your new stitch, it will envelop that slip stitch inside the new stitch. And the same for this one, you'll insert your hook all the way through so that it's going through the full stitch and it will envelop the stitch inside. Remember this color changing method, this is what we'll use for the rest of the project. To secure the magic ring, grab the loose end from the magic ring, pull it tightly to close that magic ring. I'm going to stick the back of my hook in here to shape this hoof nicely. You want to shape the first 2 rounds into a little hoof that the horse can stand on. When you're happy with that, you can tie these 2 ends together into a secure knot, and that will secure the magic ring. Once that's secure, you can trim the ends shorter and then stuff those inside the hoof. That will help the hoof keep its shape and it will get rid of those loose ends. And this loose end will just end up inside the leg as we go. For round 6, use color C, and we need to join this in the 11th single crochet of round 5. The 12th single crochet is the last one, so we want to join it in the stitch just before that. To join with a slip stitch, you just draw up a loop and then we can start crocheting. For round 6, chain 1 and work 12 single crochets. Chain 1, 1, 2, and I'm crocheting over the loose end as I go. When I reach the beginning of round 5, I need to work into these like normal stitches. So insert your hook through this front loop and go all the way through. And then I'm going to make a single crochet that will envelop the slip stitch inside it as if the slip stitch wasn't even there. And I'll do the same thing in the next stitch, going into the front loop and just pushing my hook all the way through so it's going into the back loop as well. and make a single crochet as if the slip stitch isn't there. And then just continue crocheting like normal. So we've made 4 single crochets. This is number 5. I'm crocheting over the loose ends as I go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to pull this loose end to draw up any slack. Then I'm going to continue crocheting in the round, and I want to use this running stitch marker again. My stitch marker is on the outside of my piece, so I could just pull it across here, but I'm going to pull it to the inside of the leg just to keep things tidy. So I'm just hooking it through from the back with a smaller hook, and I'm just going to take it across to my new starting position and carry on crocheting in the round. For round 7 we need to work 2 single crochets and a decrease, and repeat that 3 times. 1, 2, and now I'm going to show you how to work an invisible decrease. To do this, you want to work into the front loops only. These are the 2 loops of the stitch. We're going to work only into the front loop, but it's a decrease, so we need to work into both stitches. We're going to work into the front loop of the next stitch as well. So to make an invisible decrease, insert your hook in the front loop of the next stitch and into the front loop of the next stitch again. Yarn over, draw through both loops, yarn over and draw through both loops. We need to repeat that 2 more times. So work 2 more single crochets. 1, 2, and then a decrease. Go into the front loop of the next stitch, the front loop of the next stitch, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, and do that 1 more time. That's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and a decrease. That round is complete, and I'm going to tug this loose end just to pull up any slack. When you do that, you want to pull up the slack, but you don't want to distort the leg at all. And I'm just going to make sure those loose ends are inside the leg as I continue. For rounds 8 to 10, we're just working 9 single crochets in each round. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we just need to do that exact same thing for 2 more rounds. I'll see you at the end of round 10. Round 10 is complete. For round 11 we need to work 2 single crochets and an increase, and repeat that 3 times. So that's 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. Then tie off. You can remove the running stitch marker as you complete each piece, or you can leave them in until the project is finished, or you can remove them right before you do assembly, whatever's easier for you. I'm going to remove mine. To remove it, you just pull it out. We need 4 legs, so I'm going to go ahead and make the other 3, and I'll see you when those are done. The legs are complete. Let's move on to the next piece. To make the leg supports, begin with color C and a 6mm hook. Start with 6 single crochets and a magic ring. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we'll pull the magic ring tight. The pattern says continue working in the round and use a running stitch marker. For a running stitch marker, all you need is a thread of yarn in a contrasting color, and we're going to use this to mark the beginning and end of each round as we go. To start off, take your thread and just lay it between the first and last single crochet of the round. Then you just continue crocheting in a continuous spiral. For round 2 to round 8, we need to work 6 single crochets. So to start round 2, we'll just go directly into the first single crochet of round 1 and just start crocheting. I also want to make sure that my piece is flipped right side out. I'm going to pull the magic ring tightly closed, and I'm going to crochet over this loose end as I go. That will keep the magic ring closed. So for now, you just leave the running stitch marker to hang loose. It's currently marking between the first and last single crochet of round 1. So I'm going to continue with round 2, and I need to make 5 more single crochets. 2, and I'm crocheting over the loose end as I go. 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've reached the end of round 2, so I'm going to take one end of my running stitch marker and I'm going to lay it between the first and last single crochet of the round, and then I'm going to work round 3. I'm going in a continuous spiral, so to make round 3, I'm going to start directly in the first single crochet of round 2, and I need to make 6 single crochets in this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've reached the end of round 3. I'm going to take the end of my running stitch marker again. I'm just going to pull it to pull that furthest end inside the leg, just to keep it out of the way. I'm going to take that running stitch marker and lay it between the first and the last single crochet of round 3 and continue working in a spiral. Make 6 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and once again I'll take my running stitch marker and lay it between the first and last single crochet of the row, and then work my next row, and I will just keep doing that for every row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again lay the running stitch marker between the first and last single crochet, and then just carry on crochet. The result is that the running stitch marker will weave in and out of your piece as you go, and it will mark the beginning and end of every round.
That means you don't need to clip and unclip a marker for each round as you go. And if it so happens that you need to unravel your work at all, you'll be able to see where your rounds began. For the rest of this piece up to round 8, it's just 6 single crochets in each stitch for every round. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you at the end of round 8. We've reached the end of round 8. To finish the piece, we're just going to work 2 slip stitches and then tie off. So it's just like starting a new round. 1 slip stitch, 2, and tie off. We need 4 of these in total, so make 3 more and then we can move on to the next part. Part 1 is complete, and I'll see you in the next video for part 2.
That's it for part 1. Congratulations on getting through the first part of the pattern. If you did find it a little bit challenging, pat yourself on the back and look forward to knowing that the rest of the pattern should be easier from this point on. I hope you had fun learning new skills, and let us know in the comments if you're enjoying the project so far. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes in the Crochet-along, and you can also subscribe to my channel for more projects. I'm really excited to be starting this project with you, and I hope you are too. I would love to see your works in progress, so please post pictures and tag me, tag Hobbii, and use the patterns hashtag so we can find your pictures. I can't wait to see them, and other than that, I will see you next time in part 2 where we will make the body. Bye!